Good afternoon, everybody. Karen from Bookit Bookkeeping here, talking to you about your bookkeeping. I know you're excited, I know you're pumped, and I know that you love bookkeeping. Oh, hang on. Is that just me? Maybe it's just me. I was planning on doing this in my office and being all nice and neat and doing it professionally. But you know, as a self-employed person, life likes to make little twists and turns. And so here I am in my car. Got my uniform on though. Does that count? Does that make it professional enough? Hope so. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about setting yourself up for the new financial year. Bookkeepers, notoriously accountants too, we get to July, August. We get a lot of people contact us and say, I haven't done anything all year. Can you help me out, get my books done? I want you to make sure that you're not that person for next year. So little things you can do along the way that really help make your life a lot simpler. One of the main programs we use, and I know I've spoken about it many times before, is a program called Receipt Bank. You take a photo of every invoice and receipt that crosses your desk, and from there you can code it, publish it into your MyOb, your QuickBooks, your Xero, whatever accounting program tickles your fancy. And it also stores your data. So it's also then the receipt is stored in Xero and also in Receipt Bank, so you can throw away your pesky bits of paper. We had a client recently who brought us in a lot of paperwork, and we're scanning them and getting rid of those, so that's going to be really good for them moving forward. Gave Marilyn a bit of work to do, but she said she wanted more hours, so there you go. So that's definitely one of the steps that I recommend that you do, is get electronic. Get rid of your spreadsheets, get rid of your manual books, papers, things that take a lot of time to get the job done. Make sure that you have a separate account for your business so that you're paying everything for your business out of the one bank account. Stop using your personal account. Stop using all these other bits and pieces around the place that make it harder to get your job done. By using one account, it also helps if you're entrusting your accounts to a bookkeeper to simplify your accounts, because everything's paid out of the one place. If you need to pay a bill out of the business for $1,000 and you only have $500, then bring $500 of your own money into the business account and pay that $1,000, so that transaction is caught in there as well. Other things too is trying to get accounts with people, especially if you've been in business for a year or two. I use Staples, for example, for all of our stationery, buying desks for the office, equipment, chairs, things like that. So if you can get accounts with people that give you 30 days, 60 days to pay things, can also help your cash flow. But again, it's another thing that just, instead of paying out money every 5 minutes to different places along the way, going to Officeworks each day or each week or each month and spending money, combine it into one easy bill can also make life a bit simpler for you. Especially if you're in a business like mine, where you're not paid on a daily basis. I don't have people coming in with their FPOS cards and their cash paying me every day. I have money coming in once a month. I pay my staff each fortnight, so obviously I need to be mindful of my cash flow as we go along through the month on our little ebbs and flows. So to have 30-day accounts and things like that make it really simple for me. So that's a couple of things that you can do just to sort of set yourself off on the right foot. Also making sure that you're claiming the things that you can claim. Make sure that you're keeping logbooks for your travel if need be, that you're also, hi Nada, make sure that you're keeping all your receipts for when you're buying things for business, especially if you're paying cash, because they're not going to be caught through your business bank accounts. Try not to pay cash if you can help it, but if you do, certainly keep those receipts. That's always another good idea. And starting to be more accountable with how you're doing what you're doing. Even have a chat to a local bookkeeper, accountant, somebody else in business about how they do what they do, and that way they may come up with a few ideas that make life a bit simpler for you. I'm always happy to have a chat with anybody, phone, Skype, in person. I love coffee, always happy to chat to anybody. But yeah, business is tough enough as it is on its own without making yourself have an administrative nightmare or a bookkeeping nightmare. So certainly setting yourself up is a good thing. Thanks, Nada. The other thing too is, I guess, starting a new financial year on the right foot also means get out there, get your business known. Networking, like Women's Business Society, that's another thing. I wish I had been told 8 years ago in business that networking was as powerful and as motivating, as important as it is. I learnt that only probably 4 years into my business. But definitely be out there, be known, be involved in your community too. If you're wanting your community to support you and your business, you need to support your community back. I do a few things around the place, but yeah, it's just being out there and being involved. And to be involved in things without expecting anything back is always a nice thing to do. So there's a couple of things that you can do to get yourself ready for the next financial year. I guess the other thing too is if you haven't written a plan or you haven't written down your goals for the year, certainly do that. If you're sitting here this time next year, what do you want your business to look like? How many people do you want to be working there? Or where do you want your products to be stocked? Or what work-life balance are you wanting to have? Really sit down and nut out where you're going. It's hard to get there if you haven't got a plan of how you're going, instead of just driving around the place and hoping that you're going to get there. For me, I just want Bookit to be bigger and better and to be helping as many people as is possible. I've got an amazing team of staff at Bookit, and without them we wouldn't be where we are. But this time next year I hope that our team will be bigger, but our work-life balance and our great team that we have, everyone's still happy and healthy and working well. So that's one of my plans. But also to start having more interstate clients as well. We have clients already, but a few more in other states, and eventually we'll open offices in other states as we grow. So you've got to have an idea of where you want to go. But definitely my tip to you for starting out the new financial year is, if you aren't already using software packages, using electronic ways of storing and scanning receipts, things like that, really have a think about it and see how much time you can save yourself, how much simpler you can make your life, and